Hello everyone, I am Eliza Simpal, and for this video, I will be discussing the laws, policies, and programs for PLHIV or people living with HIV. First, let us discuss what is HIV. Human immunodeficiency virus or HIV refers to the virus of the type called retrovirus, which infects cells of the human immune system and destroys or impairs the cell's function. So, ang virus na ito is inaatake niya ang WBC or ang white blood cells ng isang tao, which is yun yung nagpoprotekta dapat sa immune system nating mga tao. Ang sabi nga dito, HIV destroys CD4 T cells or white blood cells that play a large role in helping your body fight diseases. The fewer CD4 T cells you have, the weaker your immune system becomes. So kapag nag-spread na yung virus sa katawan natin, and nasira na niya yung CD4 T cells sa katawan natin, hihina na din ang immune system natin as well as yung HIV ay magpo-progress na siya into acquired immune deficiency syndrome o mas kilala bilang AIDS. Now, let's talk about how do people acquire this kind of virus and what causes this virus to spread. So, as we all know, gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, HIV is caused by a virus called retrovirus. At pwede siyang maipasa through sexual contact with a person who has the said virus. Pangalawa is illicit injection drug use or sharing needles. Kaya din sa hospitals, pagkatapos magamit ng mga needles, tinatapon na din agad. Kasi hindi advisable ang pag-share ng needles talaga. Dahil kung ano man yung sakit na meron yung naunang gumamit, ay maaaring matransmit nung susunod na gagamit ng needles. Pangatlo, contact with infected blood. Maaari itong manggaling from blood transfusion, kaya din before tayo payagang mag-donate ng blood, pinapatest din muna tayo para maiwasan na matransfer yung virus na nasa dugo ng taong infected. Next is the from mother to child during pregnancy, childbirth or breastfeeding. Isa din sa highly risk na pagpasa ng virus is pag yung nanay na buntis is infected ng HIV, malaki yung possibility na yung magiging anak niya na nasa tiyan pa is magiging infected din pagkalabas niya. Natatransfer din ng virus na ito through breastfeeding, kaya may mga batang infected ng HIV. So this means na hindi dahil may HIV ka ay marumi ka na. Yun kasi yung stigma na nakatatak na sa utak ng mga tao na pagka may HIV or AIDS ka, ibig sabihin nakipag-sex ka na sa maraming lalaki. Hindi po yun ganun lang. Hindi lang po sa pagkikipagtalik na ipapasa ang HIV dahil may ibang paraan din kung paano ito natitransfer. And take note, hindi lang po mga babae ang nagkakaroon ng sakit na ito dahil mas kadalasan ang mga lalaking unaware sa sarili nilang sitwasyon ang nakakapag-transfer ng virus. Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ng mga batas na ipinatupad para sa mga PLHIV o person living with HIV. Una ay ang Republic Act No. 8504, also known as the Philippine AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 1998. Ito ay ipinatupad noong February 13, 1998. It is an act promulgating policies and prescribing measures for the prevention of and control of HIV/AIDS in the Philippines, instituting a nationwide HIV/AIDS information and educational program, establishing a comprehensive HIV/AIDS monitoring system, strengthening the Philippine National AIDS Council or PNAC, and for other purposes. So noong 1998, when the HIV became rampant in the Philippines, isinabatas ang Republic Act na ito. where it aims to educate the citizen of the Philippines about the root causes of the HIV at kung paano siya natatransmit from one person to another. This action was to warn the public about the danger carried by this virus and how it affects the human body. Kasabay nito ay unang in-establish ang PNAC o ang Philippine National AIDS Council para pangalagaan at maging in charge sa mga policies and programs regarding sa HIV at AIDS. Here are some of the policies na ipinatupad within this Republic Act. Number 1. The compulsory HIV testing shall be considered unlawful unless otherwise provided in this Act. Compulsory or yung sapilitang pagpapa-HIV testing sa mga individuals is considered labag po sa batas. Usually sa mga business industry noon, nire-require nila yung mga applicants nila na magpa-HIV test at pag positive, matik na hindi siya matatanggap sa trabahong iyon. Next is the right to privacy of individuals with HIV shall be guaranteed. Number 3, discrimination in all its forms and subtle ties against individuals with HIV or persons perceived or suspected of having HIV shall be considered inimical to individual and national interest. So the discrimination against PLHIVs dahil sa kanilang kalagayan ay considered na violation against the law rin. Number 4, provision of basic health and social services for individuals with HIV shall be assured. And also, yung pag-provide ng basic health necessities ng HIV individuals and social services concerning his or her health should be provided by the government. There are also some health and support services na na-mention under the RA 8504, Article 4, Section 22 to 26. And these are Section 22, Hospital-Based Services, Section 23, Community-Based Services, Section 24, Livelihood Programs and Trainings, Section 25, Control of Sexually Transmitted Disease, and Section 26, Insurance for Person with HIV. The second law na ipinatupad is the Republic Act 11166, also known as Philippine HIV and AIDS Policy Act. It is an act strengthening the Philippine Comprehensive Policy on Human Immunodeficiency Virus and Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome, prevention, treatment, care, and support, and reconstituting the Philippine National AIDS Council, repealing for the purpose Republic Act number 8504, otherwise known as the Philippine AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 1998, and appropriating funds therefor. May mga policies din na under this law. Number 1, establish policies and programs to prevent the spread of HIV and deliver treatment, care, and support services to Filipinos living with HIV. Number 2, adopt a multi-sectoral approach in responding to the country's HIV and AIDS situation. Number 3, ensure access to HIV and AIDS-related services by eliminating the climate of stigma and discrimination that surrounds the country's HIV and AIDS situation. And lastly, positively address and seeks to eradicate conditions that aggravated the spread of HIV infections, which include poverty, gender inequality, marginalization, and ignorance. There are also health support services under this Act, which is mentioned under Article 4, Section 33 until Section 43. This means that a total of 10 policies is under this Act, which is hindi ko na iisa-isahin dahil sobrang dami nila. Generally, the policies were the same with the previous Act, pero may mga inad lang na mga policies under this law which is hindi nag-exist sa naunang Republic Act. Next, let us proceed to the treatment for HIV. Una is the HIV counseling and testing. The World Health Organization recommends that in countries with less than 5% HIV prevalence, HIV testing should be offered to number one, individuals who present in clinical settings with manifestation and conditions suggestive of HIV primary or co-infection such as tuberculosis and sexually transmitted infection. Number two, children and infants who are symptomatic and or exposed to HIV. Number three, key populations and their partners. And the last is all pregnant individuals. Next is the HIV pre-exposure prophylaxis or PrEP. The PrEP is the use of combination antiretrovirals for HIV prevention indicated for people who are HIV seronegative in substantial risk for HIV. Another one is the HIV post-exposure prophylaxis or PEP. Persons with HIV who may have been recently exposed to HIV may take post exposure prophylaxis or PEP as soon as possible within 72 hours of high-risk exposure to prevent HIV acquisition. And then the last one is the antiretroviral therapy or ART. The ART controls active viral replication in the plasma but does not completely eradicate viruses in these reservoir sites. Once ART is stopped, a viral load rebounds. There are also non-government organizations that helps the people living with HIV, and those are the Duyan Program Saving Children with HIV. Next is the Love Fund Program. Pangatlo is the psychosocial care and support for person living with HIV and AIDS and their families. And the last one is the Positive Action Foundation Philippines Incorporated or PAFPI. The Duyan program Saving Children with HIV is a program of the Project Red Ribbon that aims to provide care and support for children with HIV in the Philippines. The Love Fund program is primary mission is to provide medical support for treatment of opportunistic infection, laboratory tests, vaccination, and hospitalization cost of ill patients. Next is the psychosocial care and support for persons living with HIV and AIDS and their families. This project is a community-based intervention for the prevention and management of the risks and problems associated with HIV infection. It is geared towards the education and capability building of individuals, family members, and community in managing the impact of HIV and AIDS. And lastly, the Positive Action Foundation Philippines Incorporated. This is a non-profit organization aims to empower people with HIV, AIDS, and their families to live a normal, happy, and productive life in the mainstream of supportive society.
So that's a wrap for my report. Thank you for listening.